She's an R&B and gospel singer that's worked with everyone from Patti LaBelle and Gladys Knight to Luther Vandross and Tyler Perry.
And now she's hot on the scene with her newest album, Living My Life. Grammy-winning singer and songwriter Ann Nesby. Welcome to Arise 360.
Well, thank you so
You
much.
are living the life in that outfit.
Yes.
Well, thank you.
We need a close-up. This jewelry is incredible.
Wow, that is very beautiful.
Thank you so much.
I love it. The necklace, yes, you may have to leave that.
And I love you. We can trade off for the blue.
Okay,
I don't know
that's a
what I
deal.
would do it with because you're so...
I'm sitting on my weight.
Well, that's a good thing.
It's a good thing. My husband's happy. So,
All
Moving on.
all right.
Yes.
Let's talk about your new album.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I have a new project being dropped June 3rd.
Really?
And
Tell us more.
I'm working with Arrow Records, Pastor Creflo and Taffy Dollar, World Changers International Church. They put together a label, and they've been having a gospel label, but they decided to go with Arrow Soul.
Ooh.
And I've been very blessed to be able to sing the entire idiom of African American music with Sounds of Blackness over the course of 25 years. And then doing my solo project with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis with Perspective Records. And now doing Arrow Records, I've had an opportunity to move forward and still do that type of music because they wanted me to continue to do the music that I do, inspirational love ballads, and also dance music from the house era. I did music, songs like The Pressure that introduced me to Frankie Knuckles, whom we just lost in the industry, a great loss. And this time around, I've also been introduced to EDM, that dance music, that electronic dance music. And it kind of gives me
Ann Nesby,
a
you
youthful
and
edge. Cannonball, cannonball. So
I love that.
So I'm kind of be giving that. I'll be giving a little dance music from the house side, a song called In the Morning, written by young Jordan Dollar. And this is her first time around with the dance music side. And I'm going to keep my foot planted on that traditional, inspirational music, a song called Everything Is Gonna Be All Right, because I always want to encourage people to look beyond what they're going through and know, because my foundation as a Christian, I always try to talk about an issue that we have in our lives, singing music from the heart that pierces the heart. I try to talk about a situation and then offer the solution of prayer and holding on and trusting in your faith that God will answer your prayers. So this project does all of that, and I'm really grateful that the platform that Sounds of Blackness gave me to be able to do that, to go to church and sing songs like Everything Is Gonna Be All Right, I See Beyond. I've worked with Kendrick Dean, who's worked with Beyonce Knowles and Kelly Rowland. I did a song called Through With You, because you know in our relationship sometimes we get to the point where we have to say bye-bye.
That's true.
And I'm through with you. And that could be a bad situation as well.
And that's a kind way of putting it.
Yes. Yeah.
And mentioning all the genres that you've sung before, you bring up a good point, because most artists, they stick with one genre.
Yes.
How have you been able to navigate the waters of both mainly R&B and gospel, and was it ever difficult?
It was very difficult in the beginning, but I came from a group like Sounds of Blackness, as I stated earlier. And the Sounds of Blackness, it was a group that sang the music of a people. And they did it unapologetically, teaching about the music and the music of a people, how that we navigate on the West African polyrhythms, singing our music, and we find it in so many other genres of music, but it is our music coming out of Africa that was used in so many other areas. So Sounds of Blackness began to teach the facts about music. And being with Sounds of Blackness, we sang music kind of like in the style of Duke Ellington. So that gave me a great platform to be able to jump out there and go to church and sing. My first project, I was given a solo deal when Sounds of Blackness first got their solo deal, and I led for them on 3 projects. And the first project, The Evolution of Gospel, I led on 6 songs, and it really blessed my career to be able to go on. And my first release was I'm Here For You. And I did that project, and I did the first tri-pack where they released a gospel song, a dance song, and also an inspirational project. And this project, Living My Life.
About Sounds of Blackness.
Yes.
Can we get to that?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Talk to us about that group. Did you have any idea it would become the cultural force that it did?
I was really excited that Sounds of Blackness became that cultural force, in that we were really blessed that our first television show, Luther Vandross was watching.
You were kidding.
And you know how they say you have to pay your dues? Luther Vandross called our company when we were having our release party that night, and he said, I want that group to open my tour. And we ended up going on, I think it was about 37 cities. And at the end of that tour, Sounds of Blackness won their first Grammy with their first project.
Wow.
Because we were there, people were able to see Sounds of Blackness. And it really changed my life, because Sounds of Blackness was also a theatrical company.
I didn't realize that.
And absolutely, and turned right around and then won our second Grammy for The Night Before Christmas, which was one of the touring shows that we did with Sounds of
Well,
Blackness.
while you were touring with Luther, what was he like? You know, did you learn anything from him?
Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Well, that's good to
and
hear.
he was an on-time gentleman, and he did everything in decency and in order. And if it wasn't, he would let you know.
Let you know. I like that.
You mentioned Frankie Knuckles earlier. Did you have an
Yes.
opportunity to work with him directly as well?
I absolutely did.
And what was he like?
I had the opportunity to sing for his memorial night before last. And he was a wonderful, wonderful soul, more than a world-class, prolific producer. He was a people person, and he had a knack for encouraging people in their lifetimes. He produced one of the first songs, dance songs, that became a classic for me, a song called The Pressure. And if ever you're in the club, in the dance club, generally you don't end the night without hearing Pressure. And it's
Can we hear a little bit now?
It was usually the remix from Frankie Knuckles. And then there was a call that I did. I need relief from the pressure. So whenever I'm
Wait, you just move. We can't just move on. You're like, oh, by the way, and you just
I'm
belt
like,
that out.
What just happened?
Wow.
Okay, do it again, because we don't
One more
believe that just
time.
happened.
Hey, 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 hey.
Woo!
When you hear that voice,
Beautiful. Woo!
it's from that remix that Frankie Knuckles did.
Wow.
And he always told me, he said, that song is going to be a classic.
Oh, my
and
goodness.
it's going to take you in places where you can work, and you will be singing that classic song forever.
He was right.
And when I had the opportunity to close this show for his memorial, I thought about the things he said to me, because we met up in Amsterdam working, Germany, London, Japan, and he was DJing at the time, and he would close his shows with The Pressure, and then I would be singing it in the show. So I'm really grateful to
That's
Frankie
awesome
for
experience.
touching my life.
What do you think his greatest legacy will be?
I think his greatest legacy was his love for the music and his love for people.
I need to talk about that voice.
Yes.
When do you realize that you have a talent like that? You know, there are a lot of people who think they can sing, but you can sing.
Thank you. Thank you.
And that's called a belt. That's one of the things you're known for, is
Yes.
belting those notes
Yes.
out.
Yes.
When did you know you were a belter?
Yeah.
You know, it came from both sides of my family.
Really?
Both, my grandmother sang. They both sang in church. My mother and father sang. And my father used to sing with us around the house, and they had groups, and they would rehearse in our home. I think, but the first time I sang in church, and I sang from a chair. And my mother sang in the choir. And, you know, in the black church, we have what you call the call and response. And when it was good to them, they would say, "Sing, baby. Come on, let us hear you." And as I stood in the chair, it kind of frightened me because I wasn't accustomed to that. And I jumped down and I ran to my mother. I said, "I don't want to sing no more because they're screaming at me." She said, "Oh, no, baby. They're telling you you're doing good." Yeah. And I like to tell people that I had a strong mother, because it could have been at that point that I never went back on to sing by myself. But she says, "Go on back to that chair and finish your song." And I went back to the chair and I finished my song, because I could have been afraid to sing before people for the rest of my life.
That would have been a tragedy.
Yes,
Definitely.
yes, but that was my first time, and
Wow, well,
I got finished and through that song.
You've also hit the right note on stage for performances by Tyler Perry, David Talbot, and you're going to be in the Color Purple touring soon.
Absolutely.
Okay, so tell us about the tour.
Absolutely. I first had an opportunity to work with Tyler Perry, who is one of the geniuses I know. And people didn't know about him like that. At that time, they didn't know how genius he was. And it started out, it was supposed to be a 3-night run. And people loved it so much. The show was called I Know I've Been Changed.
Oh, yes.
And Mr. Joe, who is Medea's brother, as we know him today, I was that character's wife, Lizzie. And we had a daughter, and we did everything together, and then we divorced. And he was bitter about me leaving, so it was really successful. And my daughter came on and literally played my daughter in the show. And
so it was a family affair.
It was a family affair.
Well, what's it like working with Medea? Because I know she's always ad-libbing on stage, and how do you keep up with your lines when she's just throwing stuff in?
At that time, Medea was not characterized yet. But then Mr. Joe had that same kind of vigor and kind of movement that Medea had. And then from there, I also had an opportunity to tour with Tyler. From those 3 days, we ended up 2 years. Then I went on to be able to work with Donald Lawrence, who we know in the industry, in theater, and also Dave Talbot, who is a great, great director. So I've learned so much from all those great directors, and
now in the
I'm
Color
really
Purple,
excited.
who will you be playing, and where are you stopping first?
I will be playing one of the Gossips, and I will be in Nashville.
All right.
And I will be singing one of the Gossips parts, singing that "It's Sunday morning."
You go ahead, take us to break. Sing something, take us to break. We need to hear this voice one more time.
Wait, what did they used to say in the church? When you were on the chair?
The call is like, "Sing, baby."
All right.
Sing, baby.
Well, I'll call you Auntie. Sing, Auntie.
I can take you to break singing one of my songs that I call Life Music.
Yes.
And my solo, my single will be Living My Life. And I want everybody to let your hair down.
All right.
And live your
Take my
life.
bun out.
Don't
Live
let
life.
anybody take anything from you.
Out June
I'm
3rd.
just living my life. Gonna let my hair down. Let the